And welcome back to the IWAR Network Tubecast. I'm your host, Alex G. And with me this evening, we have our good friend, Matt Riley. We got Aaron. Who else we got? Who else is here? Scott, you here? Scott's here. Is Jeff here? Jeff's is here. It's fantastic. Hi. Jeff is here. Okay. Luke's somewhere assassinating a foreign head of state currently. So...
We're not talking about free Quebec tonight.
He's on his way to the Ukraine apparently. So guys, this episode will be the January 2022 results cycle review. But first, we have some antidotes from our good friend Johnny B. So Matt, you want to start with that?
Yeah. What's the antidote to? Oh, man.
Did I say antidote?
Right.
Antidote?
So last time we mentioned that we wanted to hear some little bits from Willowick. So here is the email I got back.
Hold on.
Oh, bloody hell.
Matt, you can start again. Your audio was low.
Fucking hey. Okay.
Sorry.
We'll fix it in post. Remember those days?
That's why we get paid the big bucks.
When Alex would spend like 10 hours editing our awful show and hating us all for our verbal excuse.
Yes.
Isn't this much better? You can just kind of blow through and be like, whatever.
Agreed.
All right. From Johnny B. Alex requested anecdotes about growing up in Willowick, and in light of the confessions he has made on previous episodes, such as an incident of burning rubber along with the rest of the car, I can share a few disreputable experiences from my youth. So we're about to learn about the dark side of Johnny B. It goes beyond giving Senior Lucha the world championship. All right, listeners who are raised with access to video games and the internet should make an effort to understand that children without them have to find other ways to pass time, and they don't always make the best choices. Harumph. Since the secluded forest wasn't within walking distance of my home, as it was for Alex, my friends and my brothers and I used to use driveways, garages, and parking lots to satisfy our pyromania. A local store carried fireworks every summer, and in one fine day, a group of us purchased a package of smoke bombs, set up a tent, and took turns standing in it with the door mostly closed while the others tossed smoke bombs to the unzipped area. Oh, no. Cue an inappropriate joke from Alex. Oh, Alex.
I once gave my wife a smoke bomb, but then did not enjoy that, though.
The Dutch oven?
Dutch oven.
The idea was to determine who could withstand it the longest, but the contest resulted in a visit from the fire department, though we weren't there to greet them since we had hopped a fence and spirited away. As a result, in the store no longer selling fireworks, so that's a bummer, which was a terrible blow because whenever my sister and her friends would occupy our tree fort, smoke bombs were the best tool for the job. Tree forts. Remember tree forts? Anyone else? No?
My dad built me a tree house one time. It was in the tree, so it was in the actual tree. So he did a poor job building this thing. So I'm up in the tree house and it falls. So I fall. What? Yeah. So the whole tree, it collapses, right? So I'm in the tree house. I'm playing with GI Joes or whatever, and it was just poorly constructed, and it fell with me inside.
My God. You okay?
Oh yeah, it was fine. And then I had him rebuild it, but on the ground this time.
Okay. All right.
Take that, gravity.
All right. Okay, so let me get here. Okay, so before it processed a single match for the IWA, the mighty Commodore 64 had a brief stint as a fake polygraph. In those days, it was quite rare to have a computer in the home, and their operation was still a mystery to most, which made it elementary to fool the locals into believing we had a functional lie detector. That resulted in some rather embarrassing admissions from fellow children in the neighborhood, and also resulted in a visit from the police department. Oops. One of my many younger brothers was having trouble with a classmate, so the two of us sneaked out in the middle of the night, trekked across the city, bottle of crystal Drano in hand, and used it to spell an unkind word on his lawn.
Yes.
Along with an arrow pointing to his bedroom window. As every competent teenage male knows, crystallized drain cleaner reacts with morning dew and kills grass in the affected area. This particular escapade did not result in a visit of any kind to our mutual relief. Wow, that's a pretty good one. Alex, did you do anything crazy when you were a kid like that?
We were big with the chlorine bombs.
Okay.
So yeah, which are it's basically a terrorist act now. But we used to put chlorine bombs in dumpsters and then watch them go on fire.
Oof.
I was gonna say, were you in World War One?
We were never that bad. The one thing we did one time is one of my friends got a coffee can, and for some reason he decided it was a good idea to take a He-Man action figure, put him in the coffee can, and then add some gasoline and light it on fire.
Nice.
Which is bad enough. But then one of the kids was like, "Hey, isn't there a dad coming down the street?" So we all panicked, and his answer to panic was to kick the can over to make it go out, except instead of just lit the whole entire driveway up with fire. So we're all running away. The driveway's on fire. Thankfully, no cars in the driveway, and it wasn't even his dad. But there was this gigantic burn mark in the driveway. So
we used to have a two-man slingshot, like one of those big, two-man slingshots, and we used to dip tennis balls in kerosene and then slingshot fireballs into the highway. There's some of them I can't talk about because of the statute of limitation on some of these.
Hey, that's we all get that.
But someone matching my description may have threw a mannequin over an overpass once. So
I don't know if it's is it a federal crime to mess with someone's mail?
Yes, I once threw lit cigarettes in one of those mailboxes at the mall.
Okay, well, I never did that, but I did put opened barbecue containers from Burger King in my friend's dad's mailbox, and like 6 of them. So when he reached in for the mail, he got barbecue sauce all over his hand. He was a virulent racist, so he hated my friend Alex Perlstein for, you might want to guess how or why. So to get back at the father who was calling him all kinds of horrible names, he sold magnetic signs like for cars. Yeah. So I took them all off his truck and threw them on his roof. Because I was a dick. But that was a fun time. Anyways, all right. So more hijinks from Willowick. Just so everyone knows, these are stories admitted to by Johnny B himself. So if you ever want to like Johnny B is corrupt, we all know it's true now. All right, so let's see. Okay, so this finished off Crystal Drano in somebody's yard. So teachers at my high school were frequently late to class, providing a window for mischief. Oh no. My geometry teacher often showed up late, opted to find I'd hidden the chalk in unusual places. Cue joke from Alex.
Butthole.
This chalk stinks. Once I reached the door first out of a group of students and acted as if it were locked. When the teacher finally arrived, the entire class were waiting in the hallway. No one else had tried to open the unlocked door. That's pretty good. With computer networking gaining popularity but still no sign of the internet in sight, a friend and I were bored in programming class, so we created a fake login screen. Classmates would arrive to see their assigned computer already booted up, so they'd enter the name and password unaware that it was already logged into our accounts. The sign-in details would be stored in a file we had access to, then the machine would automatically and unexpectedly restarted. Naturally, the victim would just assume it was a temporary glitch and re-enter the password, this time actually logging into their own account. We didn't use the information for nefarious purposes, but it was fun knowing everyone's credentials. Whoa, that's actually pretty cool. Nearly all passwords consisted of a short, typical word, since few were concerned with security back then. The top student of the class used Odysseus.
Oh, excuse me.
And one day he was resting his head on his desk when suddenly he heard his password being whispered from the back of the classroom. I can still recall the expression on his face as he raised his head and looked around. That's pretty good. The year after my father left his teaching position to devote full energy to IWA, the school implemented stricter rules regarding loitering in the halls, one of my favorite activities. With the cat away, I was free to organize a sit-in outside the principal's office. It was rather short-lived and didn't have the effect on the new rules, but it was fun convincing so many of my fellow students to join me in a love of rule-breaking. I've already explained why holes like chair shot aren't valued higher. That's a crime right there. I'd change that tomorrow. Put it to a vote. Make chair shot count. Scott asked about running for office, and my father, the original Johnny B, actually did run for city council one year, but was defeated by a woman whose offspring were less familiar to the authorities. Oh, there you go. There it is. So that was anecdotes from Johnny B. Thank you very much for sharing those. We always appreciate that. I think
the dark underbelly of Willowick.
Well, yeah, up in Canada, what do you do? Like, what were your hijinks in Canada? Like, this hockey stick, like high sticking somebody outside the mall?
Yeah, I mean, putting a bit too much gravy on the poutine.
Oh,
Well, I have that problem myself, so.
Not wearing enough denim, stuff like that. I remember one time it was actually during my brother's birthday party. We got a visit from the police because we got a little carried away with the prank calls. That was our big claim to fame when we were younger. We found this one dude, and we gave him a really hard time with the prank calls. So we got a visit from the police for that one.
that sounds Canadian to me.
Yeah.
Did you say sorry? It was all.
I mean, you guys are talking about borderline terrorist acts. So, I mean, that's all I got.
I'm thinking of like high school stuff. A friend, wrestling related, I guess. My best friend Brian in high school, we used to do the demolition drop to freshmen. So I think Axe was the one that held him, right? Or was it Smash?
That was Axe.
I would hold him in the position, and Brian would jump off the top of the railing, and like I would always spin them so they would never actually get hit. But the teachers thought we were killing them, so they got in trouble for that. But I'm like, no. They like the kids thought it was fun to wrestle, and I wouldn't legit beat somebody up. But I did powerball my kid for one time through a bush. That was legit. He was being a dick.
You gotta keep in mind this is a pre 9/11 world.
Right.
At my high school, it was fairly common for people to call in phony bomb threats. So they would close the school so we can go to the beach, which was a common occurrence.
But there's sharks at the beach.
Well, to get to a really nice beach by us, you have to go take a ferry across to Fire Island. So
Fire Island. That's a real place?
That's a real place.
I tell you, I dated somebody from Port Jeff.
That's a real place.
It is, and she used to talk about Long Island and like horrible stories about it. I'd be like, wow,
like 20 minutes. That's 20 minutes away from my house.
Yeah, and she would be like, come visit me, and like, she went to college up here, and then she worked up here, and I was like, no, I gotta take a ferry.
Like if you really were interested in getting in a three-way, you go to Port Jeff.
Makes sense why I dated her then. All right.
There's also this place called Pickle Park, and you gotta let you use your imagination for that. Pickle Park is a what do they call it? Rest stop or a park and go or whatever.
Oh, like something about Mary, the rest stop type thing.
Yeah, so like just
okay.
Dudes done the prowl will go there and get their pickle tickled at Pickle Park.
Okay, so shifting gears, I gotta ask Jeff. You're there, right, Jeff? Jeff's with us, right?
He was.
All right, Jeff. So it's your turn to share. I'm sure you have some good ones. Your hijinks when you were a kid.
I wasn't that bad of a kid. I wasn't a juvenile delinquent like you guys were. I mean, we did a lot of stuff with fireworks back when you could walk into, like the corner store and buy them. Attaching them to cat's tails, shit like that.
Oh.
I think Jeff's Canadian at heart.
Well, the funny thing is, I had cousins that lived in Canada, St. Catharines, Ontario, and I used to go up there and visit them in the summertime, and run around and steal people's maple syrup and all, take moose around and all that kind of stuff. Probably the most juvenile delinquent thing we did at Halloween. You remember? I don't know if they still do it, but years ago, people used to buy those garbage bags that look like pumpkins.
Yeah.
Yes.
And they would fill them with leaves and put them all around their yard. Well, we'd go around and we'd collect those, throw them in the back of my truck, and we'd pick one road somewhere. And every Halloween, we would do the Great Pumpkin Bag Roadblock. Middle of the night, we'd stack them like 20 high in the road and block the whole road. And it always ended up on like the local news and stuff. So, yeah, that's about as bad as I got.
I will tell you the reason I remember those bags because when I had my shit box, my Datsun 510, my first car, we were driving back from being out one night, and I saw someone had put it looked like a bag full of leaves on the curb. So I swung over to hit the bag. Unbeknownst to me, they used it for trash. So it exploded, and trash went all over the street, and then it got stuck under my car and ripped and just shredded trash all over the street. So then when I drove home, it was like a block away from my house. So next morning, there were seagulls everywhere. My parents were like, what the hell?
You know what my dad used to do? Because my dad's awesome. We used to have those big bags, but he would put cinder blocks in it, like underneath the leaves. So if a car came and hit them, they were gonna have a nasty surprise.
Oh, thankfully your dad didn't put the bag out. I
No,
hit.
no.
All right, Scott, it's your turn to tell us your juvenile hijinks.
I stabbed the man.
They'll never found the body.
Were you there?
Yeah. It's
Oh my god. No.
Scott.
Anybody that doesn't know, I'm handicapped, so there wasn't much of me getting out really. I guess the only time is that I went with a couple of guys and during the time of rebellion, and I egged a couple of churches.
Oh my God, that's pretty good.
Other than that, nah, I didn't do much of anything else.
Well, I remember when we lived together in Georgia, we were going to one of the restaurants, and I threw out of the chair. And
I guess those were the fun times.
You know, as a teenager, but without the access of motel rooms or even in my own bedroom, I would have to take ladies to different areas to get my swerve on. My favorite one being there's this big church by my house, and the church parking lot is huge, and there's no one ever in it. So on occasion, I've been known to take a foxy young lady to these church parking lots.
well, that's a good question for Johnny B. What was the local lookout point in near Willowick for the IWA players?
My basement.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh man. Anyways, we the wrestling game, right? I'm looking at the comments here. I once, Darren, my friends and I took sale signs off grass and put them in each lawns. Wow. This wasn't my prank, but when I went to Alfred University in Alfred, New York, which is way out there, there had been for years the nativity scene for Christmas. Someone stole the baby Jesus every year. So it was this running gag where like they got security and whatever else. So the last year I was there, somebody actually stole all of the figures from the nativity scene, and then the next day replaced it with like 30 years worth of baby Jesuses. And apparently some fraternity house had done it.
That makes sense.
I laughed so hard I almost pissed myself because it's such a it's like who's doing this? Goddamn fraternities. Anyways, so that's our hoodlum years. I mean, I have tons more I can talk about. We got IWA stuff to talk about, so.
We do.
Well, who we want to start with here?
We're going to start with NWL New Wave League number 178. Who wants to do champions? Aaron, you want to do champions?
Do you want to do it, Jeff? Should we do rock, paper, scissors?
Yes.
Take turns.
Go ahead. You go ahead and do the champions there.
Oh, okay. Sounds good, man. All right. So New Wave League number 178. League champion we've got from Whoop-Ass Inc., the Playboy, Mick Ferrari, returning to the top of the league. Then we've got the TV champion from SOS and the industry, Dave the Decision Wazalewski. Central Plains champion, we got the Lone Star Redneck Club's Johnny Aztec returning to the title page. East Coast champion from Whoop-Ass Inc., we have Sam Hain. Great Lakes champion from the Gun Collection, Area Gunpowder. Mid-Atlantic champion, Sheepdog, Roe Grady, returning to the title page once again. Northeast champion from the Gun Collection, we've got the Shotgun Kid. Pacific Northwest champion from SOS and the industry, Rod Camino. Rocky Mountains champion, your everyday hero, Oliver Livingston. Southeast champion from Whoop-Ass Inc., Varuk Assault. Southwest champion, Dark Danger. West Coast champion from TIE, we've got King Diamond. League Tag Team champions from Whoop-Ass Inc., the Playboy Mick Ferrari and Sam Hain. TV Tag Team champions, their arch rivals nonetheless. From SOS and the industry, we've got Waz and we've got Dave the Decision Wazalewski. League six-man champions, Waz, Rod Camino, Dave the Decision Wazalewski. TV six-man champions, once again, we've got from Whoop-Ass Inc., Playboy McFerrari, Sam Hain, and Veruca Salt. And then the Battle Royal winner, making it almost a clean sweep for Whoop Ass Inc., we've got Sam Hain.
God damn.
So,
That's
I mean,
a good cycle.
yeah, a pretty big cycle, a good mix of kind of some established guys. Whoop Ass Inc. pretty much was pretty dominant in 2021 altogether, so they're starting off 2022 kind of in the same fashion. I mean, that's almost a clean sweep of the title page, and they're going to be set to move on to the BRL, I think, in another cycle or two. It's great to see a couple of new names on there. We've got Dark Danger, who I think is going to be a pretty solid member of the NWL moving forward. And yeah, I don't know, Jeff, what do you think about how the title page shook down this time?
I said right in the NWL locker room chat right after the results dropped that I thought it was just an absolutely amazing cycle for Whoop Ass Inc. I honestly, in the, I guess, 8 months or so that I've been in the NWL, I think this is probably the most dominant month that I've seen a faction. I know the Syndicate had a great run a couple of cycles ago, but this is crazy. I mean, league champion, 2 regionals, one of the league tag champs, TV 6 and Battle Royal winner. I mean, that's just amazing.
Yeah, between Whoop Ass Inc. and the industry, they've had quite a feud going on for quite a while. So, I mean, it feels like they almost divided the title page between them this time, which maybe signifies that feud coming to a bit of a climax as Whoop Ass Inc. is getting ready to move on.
Yeah, and I also want to give a kudos out to the gun collection. You know, it's been up and down, but I mean, for the most part, somebody from that faction's ended up on the front page almost every cycle. And I mean, that's something that I can't do. So that's pretty amazing. We've got a hell of a collection of talent in the NWL, and it just keeps getting better. Some of these newer guys coming in, Oliver Livingston, your everyday hero.
Yep.
That I'm so looking forward to the TT from that character because they came out with a blast this time out. And Dark Danger, TTing, and we got Fabulous Terry Hurt throwing some TTs down. So we got a real nice. As we're losing, Graduation is taking some of our mainstays. We've got another great collection of characters and guys running them coming up.
All right.
Can I add something to that NWL stuff?
No.
Oh.
Go ahead.
Well, I was going to say one thing about the gun clubs. A good point to bring up there, Jeff, is that they've been rotating out. I've noticed, like, you know, like if it's not Shotgun Kid, it's Aria. If it's not Aria, it's California Gunslinger. One of the things I talk a lot about is like not investing all of your strats in one drop. So like spreading it out. So for instance, if Aria Gunpowder goes, let's say 29-28, right? And Shotgun Kid goes 28-26, you know, like or 28-27, whatever, right? So you spread it out so that if one of your 3 can make the title page, now that they have 2, go drastically different. So that way, like if one's going to miss, the other one's probably going to hit. And it's a good way to spread out your strats so you kind of cover some multiple bases. You might not have like, you know, an all-around great cycle like we have from Whoop Ass Incorporated, but it's a good way to like kind of play the odds. Whoop Ass Incorporated has been doing really, really well as a whole. Mick Ferrari, I think, I don't know if I told you guys in the locker room yet, but he just broke the top 10, I believe, in all-time scoring. So I think he's at 225 right now. I think he's number 9 or number 10. He's right up there. So considering he's getting close to the end of his run, that's pretty damn impressive. You know, there's been a lot of good players to break 200 points, and that's really kind of a good benchmark.
Yeah, he must have like 3 league titles now, at least, like that. And
I believe that's his 3rd.
Yeah, considering how competitive the NWL has been, that's quite a statement.
Right. I'm gonna pull this up. But yeah, I can get back to it. But I think it's a really good sign of like how good somebody is to like break the all-time top 20 list. Like Hillbilly Kevin was like 170 and was at like number 20th. So he just got bumped. But it's like still, it's a good sign. It's kind of like, you know, I know a lot of guys that play the game. Like what happens sometimes is you kind of play the first 5 cycles, you're just kind of figuring things out. And by a lot of these guys, like by the time they get it, it's like they want to get going. It's like too late to really, get crazy. Yeah, Playboy McFerrari is at number 9 at 225. He's behind Rowdy Rustagini with 230 and ahead of Drunken Fisherman at 225. I'm sorry, tied with Drunken Fisherman. But still.
That's epic.
Right. And I mean, the all-time leading scorer has 300 points, Bruce Inferno. Right. Bruce Inferno had like an insane run when he was there. And what's funny is Bruce Inferno wasn't his top guy. Like the guy who played him, he was like his secondary guy. But he just, for whatever reason, always his strats broke higher. So, anyways, I thought it was kind of cool. I do want to mention that activity-wise, the NWL had 164 cards, 43 Battle Royal entries. So there were 5 transfers out and 1 new wrestler. So, like Jeff mentioned and Aaron mentioned about like, the new players coming in, it's great to see new players come in. And like, again, this game's what you make of it. So if you're new and it's your first time listening, email the commissioners, get a hold of them, because the more you get involved, the more fun you're going to have.
We just had 2 or 3 people just joining up on the Facebook page. So I'm pretty stoked about that. We haven't had any really that much activity there in a while. It's pretty dead right now. But guys, if you guys want to post stuff there, by all means, go ahead. Live the dream, hot shot. That's what I always say.
I think I did notice 2 transfers out that I was maybe a little bit caught off guard by, and it was Lone Star Redneck and Big Money Bonnie Banks. I heard through the grapevine that they might have transferred out to the IWL. So I mean, the NWL's loss is going to be the IWL's gain.
I just noticed that. I think yesterday. So
yeah, that's going to be a good pickup. I think they're going to be sorely missed in the NWL. They had a great run. Bonnie Banks is a 2-time Rookie Brawl winner, but yeah, I think they're going to be great in the IWL, and I'm kind of sad to see them leave.
Yeah, I will tell you this one thing on top of that, Lone Star Redneck. He's an off the gridder, so he would email me, like send me a letter through the IWA. And I always impress my players who do really well because, it's good to see players, not just ones who are internet savvy or whatever, but see them in there and active. So look forward to seeing him work in the IWL.
All right, man.
Hey, Lone Star, I did notice that too when I was reading through the IWL report. I saw the TT from Lone Star Redneck.
Yep.
As of right now, Futurescape 3 coming up, Lone Star Redneck is in one of the Willowick Classic semifinals. Does that now open up a spot for someone else?
It sure does.
That's
well,
right.
If you're new to the NWL and you're listening to this, and you want to be on that card and jump right into a premier position on that card, a chance to get right into the Young Lions title hunt. TT, jump in, throw some trash talk out there, get your character going, and you could be right on that card, 2 cycles from now?
Yep.
That's right.
All right, man. I dig that.
Dig that.
He said it.
Round of applause. There you go. Next up, Independent Wrestling League number 151. League champion Joe Boring. Television champion Neo Dragon. New York City champion Tiamat. Los Angeles champion The American Patriot. Boston champion Magnum TL. Detroit champion Chase Grace. Cleveland champion The Standover Man. Dallas champion Blackjack Robertson. Memphis champion Guy Michael Gagon. Miami champion Friendzone Frederick Goodfellow. San Francisco champion Monkey the Mongolian Baller. Chicago champion Kenneth Oblivion. League tag team champions Christopher Destruction and Kenneth Oblivion. That's a SWAT team's wrecking crew, I believe, if I'm not mistaken on that. TV tag team champions Killer Crush and Killer Cross. Welcome to the title page, buddy. League 6-man champions. Fuck these guys. Free for Quebec won the league. League 6-man champions. Fuck those guys. And your TV 6-man champions, Jack Justice, Rusty Riggs, and Big Money Graham Steenbridge. And your Battle Royal winner, winning $49 and 49 free IWL matches. Excuse me. That is the American Patriot. So, guys, we are coming off the Starrcade pay-per-view. So we get a chance, we'll read. You can all read all 84 pages of this bulletin. Not the all-time record, but it's pretty high. Overall activity, I'm happy with the 126 cards that we got in this cycle, so I'm stuck with that. I'm stoked with the 49 guys in the battle royal, so keep that up. Thank you so much. In addition, we do have some results here. I gotta scroll down here right quick and give you guys some exclusive results on our latest tournament. Now, this tournament is the Young Lions Cup, and it's to determine one of the challengers for the now vacant Pan American Championship, which that match will take place at Soul Survivor. So we have one entry already, which is Shotgun James Carnage via the Holiday Rumble. So the guys who won here are as follows. Oh no is right. U.S. Mail did not win, so sorry about that. Sorry. Hey guys, there's always there's a lot of tiebreakers in this particular tournament. So again, guys, please join your battle royals, because that's how I determined tiebreakers is where you place in the battle royal. X3M has moved on, and she defeated the Total Package U.S. Mail. So,
that's bulls. Woman versus man. Illegal. I file an injunction.
Ravishing Rex Chambers tied Killer Cross, but Rex Chambers move on due to his battle royal finish. So Rex Chambers is a winner here. Bernard Bouchard also tied Big Money Graham Steenbridge. I believe Graham Steenbridge did place better in the battle royal, so he moves on to the next round. And Atticus Black, not Anakin Black, but Atticus Black beat Riley Reynolds to move on in the Young Lions Cup. So again, pretty stoked about that. We still have the 4-pack challenge going on right now. The teams are Jax Justice and Rusty Riggs, the SWAT team, Wrecking Crew, Free Quebec is in there, and Droll and Hoax are the 4 teams for this 4-pack challenge. Winner of this will receive a unified tag team championship shot at the following pay-per-view. So be on the lookout for that. But overall, real excited about the IWL in general. Guys, again, spend some time out and read the pay-per-view. These guys did a fantastic job writing it. Me, not so much, but we'll get into that when we do director commentary for the pay-per-view for Starrcade. But yeah, I'm pretty excited. You guys have any thoughts on the IWL and the direction that we're going? We have Alexander J. Styles is the new IWA World Champion, and most recently the Pan Am Champion. Double belts for him. So I guess you can still consider him the Pan Am Champion until we get a new one. So there you go.
I'm filing an injunction.
What was that?
Does he have to vacate the Pan American title?
He does. So again, that's why we're doing these tournaments to set up new challengers for that championship. Like I said before, Shotgun James Carnage won the Holiday Rumble, so he's in the match. He's the current number 1 contender, and the Young Lions Cup will determine the number 2 contender. So those 2 guys will face off at Soul Survivor to determine a new Pan Am champion. All right, man. That's all I have for the IWL. I dig that. Next up, BRL number 579.
All right, well, 579 saw us have, let's break down some of the results. We had 135 cards. We had 74 Battle Royal entries. We had 4 transfers in, 5 transfers out. One of which, I'm not gonna name names, but as a note, if you're contacting me and saying, "Hey man, put me in a feud. I'm back. I'm coming back. I'm gonna be excited." I'm like, "Oh, great," and I put you in a feud, and then you bail on me like less than a cycle later. Don't come back to me like in like 6 months or a year and be like, "Hey man, I want to come back to the league again." I don't give a shit. Burn bridge. Like, you've let me down 3 times now. No more. I remember there was a player in the past who used to come in and change his wrestler's name. Like, I'm not even joking. Every other cycle, he would change his new gimmick, and I would push him in a feud, write up in the report.
Yeah, Shane Cole.
Yes. So I eventually said to him, look, if you keep doing this, I'm not going to book you at all. So guess what happened? He stopped playing in the BRL. He went to another league. And that's fine. He found somebody else to play. But you can't make more work for me and have me put in work for you and then give you the rub and help set somebody up, hopefully for a good feud, and they put in work for their promo, and then you bail. That just looks shitty. So there's that. All right, so results-wise, number 579, our league champion for the first time is Jim the Anchor Neidhart.
Oh.
For those of you scoring at home, Jim had a score of 497, although Wrestling Demon Drugs, who was our TV champion, had a 500. And word has it that it wasn't PPF, but you never know. Central Plains is F.A. O'Shaughnessy. And fun side fact here, I was watching this show, and it's called Silent Witness. And it's a British show.
Sounds like a porno.
No, it's about a corner. Anyways, like body. There was a character in it called F.E. O'Shaughnessy. I was like, oh man. So I'm not even pronouncing it right, and I watched the show, so that tells you what I thought of that. Anyways, I thought that was interesting. It's like one of those things where you hear a new word, and all of a sudden you hear it all the time. So East Coast champion Nivek Largo, Great Lakes champion Assassin Beast Devasto, Mid Atlantic champion Not Safe for Work Gina Colada, Northeast champion Agent 26, Pacific Northwest champion Sam Whiskey, Rocky Mountain champion Wrestling Demon Alcohol, Southeast champion Larry Brett, Southwest champion Skullfire, West Coast champion The Samoan Assassin, Tag champions East-West Connection Matthew Van Slaughter and Jane the Vixen Red with a 516. I don't know if it was PPF or not, but I'm sure we'll hear about it if we did. TV Tag champions are Carnage Dodge and Jello Duckins, also known as the Carnival Prophets. The League Six-Man champions retaining with 5 free matches is Arrogance, the team of Zolf Diggler, Martel the Model, and Lord Regal. The TV Six-Man champions, the Whiskey Brothers, Bart, Jim, and Steve. And winning $50 in IWA credit was Sam Whiskey. Thankfully, this cycle went very smooth. There was no replays. There were no adjustments to be made. So that was very cool. I know we're not going over the promos, but I do want to talk about in the BRL, we did a shakeup where I, in character-wise, Dick Jackson, the new commissioner, is shaking things up. And he's basically blown up the format for determining champions. I was doing a system before where I had like these multi-man matches where somebody with a high score would advance. And as much as that was easy, it kind of made a pocket of like randomization I didn't like. So I also like the idea of like earning things and kind of building around the scores. I always feel like, we have, as a commissioner, you have so many tools at your disposal. You have free iCash, $50,000 a month. You have free matches to give away. But you have strategies to work with. So what I've done is revamped the process. So what I've done is taken the wrestlers who promo and broken them into like different pods. So the first thing I did, and if you read the BRL Trash Talk, you'll see what happens with Flashy Jack Ferdinand, LePage Turner, and Punk Rock Mike and the belts. And I basically, I gave the belt, the Cruiserweight belt to LePage Turner to make it go away. Because I thought, well, no one's going to care if I take it away from him. I just wasn't feeling it. But also, too, is I'm revamping those pages where I had the wrestlers' picture and bios, and I'm going to reboot it, and it's going to be like the global division, and then the wrestlers in the division, and then the North American division, and the wrestlers in the division, and then women's global, et cetera, right? So it's going to be a way to kind of like have an easier idea of who's in what. Some of you have said, like, you don't really care where your wrestlers are, but what I'm trying to do is give the wrestler who you promo the most for, or seem to have the most meat behind the promo, to the global division. And the North American division is kind of your second-ranked wrestler. But in some people's cases who are newer to the league, I put you in North American, so sort of like, work your way up. One of the things I don't like about the BRL process before was, like Flashy Jack Ferdinand won the North American title, right? And he's like, amazing wrestler right now, top, one of the top stars in the game, in our IWAR. If he kept retaining the belt, he would never get a shot at the global championship, which is the top championship. So Dick Jackson comes out and basically says to them, like, look, if you cash in your belt, I'll give you a shot at WrestleRama, which is number 10. It's a big pay-per-view. And I'm building it up to have a lot of big events in it. So that's going to be a triple threat main event where it's Paige Turner, Jack Ferdinand, and Punk Rock Mike. So you have the history between Punk Rock Mike and Paige Turner already in place. and Flashy Jack is the big star. Also, spoiler alert, going to be Wrestler of the Year in the BRL through a tiebreaker. But we'll get to our awards issue next. So what I've done is broken these into different divisions, okay? So if you're looking at, when you see these next cycle, or if you look at the report and you say, hey, I really wanted my wrestler to be in the global division, not the North American division, I will happily swap them out. Just you want to have at least one in the global division and one in North American if you have two singles wrestlers. If you have only tag teams or whatever, that's fine too. The big ticket for this event or this policy is just promo. If you promo, you're in. I don't care if your promo is a full page like Mike Sebastian or if it's a few lines like Assassin Beast Devasto. Just show us the work and put in a little bit of effort, and you'll get, in there. So the results from this round of play, which I had to add a couple of matches that I forgot people because I just was doing too much at once. So I've added a couple of people to the series matchup. So in round one of the global series, it was Mike Sebastian defeating Ghostly Shadows, R.A. Rude defeating Adam Cash, Jim Neidhart defeating Sabretooth, Jack Ferdinand defeating Aries by a tiebreaker, Battle Royal money won. Agent 26 defeated LePage Turner. Stevie Vertigo defeated Brian Rotten. Zydre defeated Seth Adams-Lee. Jax McAllister defeated Rob Ratliff. And Nelson Hull defeated Patrick O'Malley. So the winners will go on to the next round, right? So what I've done is taken those matchups, and because there was 9 matches, the 10th spot is filled by the highest scoring loser from the first round. So this way, if you, let's say you had a 500, and the guy you're playing against is a 501, are you kidding me? You'll have a chance to advance in a situation where we have an odd number of pairings. So this will take some work getting used to, but the North American series, let me go through this real quick. Hawaiian Heartthrob defeated Fan Striker. Brahmo Baron defeated Monster Truck Tanaka. Nivek Largo defeated Wisp. Assassin Beast Devasto defeated Zeus. Chief Bull Gray Fox defeated Frankie Scott. Greg Garner defeated El Barbero. Mike Cook defeated Wolf. RX Payne defeated Playboy Mike Eves. And Larry Brett defeated Donnie Bloodstone. Women's Global Series. Efe O'Shaughnessy defeated Charlotte Wallace. Sherry Summers defeated Lavender Fields. And Betty Red defeated Alligator. Global Tag Series was a mess. And one thing I'll talk about, and I'll have the rules. I have the big main event rules in the middle of the page, so it's easy to see and read. But a couple of things before I read the multi-matches. When it comes to singles matches, if there's a tie, we go to Battle Royal Money 1. And it works pretty well because we're all in the same Battle Royal. For the best of the best series, there was a really good point made by, I think it was Brian Gustafson, AJ Alexander Styles manager. I think it was him or it was Aaron, or somebody made the point about, it's not fair to have a BRL wrestler versus a IWAR wrestler when it comes to the Battle Royal, because the BRL Battle Royal is so much bigger that if you made it to the 12th spot, you might have way more money than someone in the IWAR Battle Royal. So we did away with that when it came to that, league versus league thing. So singles ties are broken by the money earned in the Battle Royal. So if you're thrown out and you have $4,200 and your opponent had 43, they win. All right, so it's fair. For multi-man ties, when it's 6-man or tag, if you tie, you're both eliminated. It's just, I don't want us to play the game of which member of this 6-man team had the most money? I don't need to do any more work on that. Win your match. Advance. Inactive wrestlers lose automatically. Matchups for the next round. So what I did is for the next round of matches, the winners are set up against the other winners by score. So if you had the highest score, you'll face the person from the previous round with the lowest score. All right? And if there's an odd number series, I will put the highest scoring losing wrestler in the next round. So it's kind of almost like if you watch NASCAR, the lucky dog thing. It's kind of like that. I know Alex is a huge NASCAR fan. He digs that. If there's no listed opponent, if I forget to put an opponent in there, I'll find someone for you. Trash talk is the way to get in these events. No trash talk on multiple cycles could result in disqualification or suspension. So preview, Rob Ratliff, Double R Rob Ratliff, attacked the Commissioner Dick Jackson with a guitar. We just did this Commissioner Jackson getting attacked thing in the NWL last year. So we're not doing it this year. So I'll explain that in the promo. But he's suspending Double R Rob Ratliff. So he'll be off the next set of events. And the idea is just don't make Commissioner Jackson the target of your attack. I don't want him to be the centerpiece of the league. We did that already.
Can you stop sending TT to the IWL? God damn it.
Yes, Rob, keep sending promos because everyone wants to read those promos. Him and Backstabber. By the way, we should put a bounty out for $10, $5, some kind of a bounty for whoever can tell us who the Backstabber really is. Global tag matchups. Americanos defeated Thugs for Hire. Samoan Death Grip and White Claw Outlaws tied at 514. The Mannequins destroyed Zeus and Hercules 514 to 508. Silver Brothers tied with IOU because there were no match scores to go off of, which, by the way, I base this off your scores. So if your tag team is not active, there's no score to work with, they don't win. So make my life easier. Skullfire and Psycho Bolt tied with Ace, so they're both out. And the Global Six-Man Series, the Mannequins defeated Jinko by 1 point. The Americanos and Mouse Truck Tanaka defeated Suburban Hell Savages, Punk Rock Mike, Age of 26, and Patrick O'Malley. Arrogance defeated Quick Kill Incorporated, and Holy Family and Carnival Profits, both are NAs. So we'll be doing some juggling up. So then what you'll see in this next issue coming out of the BRL, you'll see the main event round matchups for the next cycle. So it's going to be very quickly moving. And we're doing that for a couple of reasons. One, just make it more about these matches, keeping the action going, setting up events. And then what I'll do is when we have the actual pay-per-views, they're going to be a much more robust pay-per-view write-up. So instead of having like, mini write-ups here, mini write-ups there, and just like kind of killing a little bit of time, we're going to do one big write-up every 4 cycles. So that's going to be the direction of the BRL. If you want to be involved in the write-up process, let me know. There'll be a lot of fun matches built around that. The third Royal Rumble will be at WrestleRama, so we'll have that there. And the winner of that will be entered into the next Global Championship match, which will be at Imagibash. So that's the BRL stuff going on. I think that's pretty much all the big stuff. But it's going to be a little confusing at first, but just feel free to ask questions, and I'll do what I can to make it make sense.
Yeah, man, I dig that.
Yeah, you do.
Matt, what do you got for us IWAR wide?
A few things. Number one, I forgot to ask a question with IWL. For your Soul Survivor event.
Yes.
For your match, is it still $1 to enter?
$1 entry, and the prize will be IWA credit. So if there are 50 guys who join Soul Survivor, the prize will be $50 in IWA credit.
And how do you determine the winner?
Oh, it's complicated.
It is such a pain in the ass, but it's
Ryan's going to do that for us, hopefully this year once again. Oh, I haven't asked him yet, so I'm asking him now.
I will say this: you guys don't. I know. Like
it's the most convoluted fucking process on the face of the earth.
If I remember correctly, it's basically he picks like
No, it's a uninitiated third party picks 5 holds at random. Then we take those holds, right? Whatever those. So basically, it requires the IWA to give me everyone's strategies for that cycle. So then I pick out the holds, and then we add the hold values together. They get a winner, and there's a 6th hold would be a tiebreaker. But we've gone to 7 and sometimes 8 on holds. But
yeah,
it's very.
It's a. What kind of match is it? Explain the match.
It's a Royal Rumble.
But there's more to it.
No, it's a Royal Rumble.
Because you can get pinned.
You can get pinned.
So that's not a Royal Rumble.
There's no other match that has pinfalls in a battle royal like that.
I thought you were a wrestling fan.
Lies.
Is it a reverse Royal Rumble?
We don't reverse anything.
You start with certain people.
We're not Impact Wrestling, and we don't do reverse battle royals.
Well, okay. I will tell you this much: I'm planning to do a big push to get people to sign up for like the Johnny B Cup, which signups are going to start, the Murano Memorial, Soul Survivor. And also the Lethal Lottery trifecta, which we should be rolling out. Because Scott, do you want to explain that?
No.
It's fair.
I can do that. I can do it.
Do it.
All right.
We're thinking about those eggs he threw at the church when he was younger.
That's right. There's like a. It's a nun with nunchucks.
Nunchucks now legal in New York State, by the way. Very excited.
It's what?
Nunchucks are now legal in New York State. There was a long period of time since the 70s that nunchucks were illegal because of kung fu movies.
What about quarterstaffs and size?
You can I have a katana, so those are fine, but nunchucks were illegal, and now they're not. So I'm gonna be walking everywhere with a nunchuck.
Okay, here's the question. I bet you will be able to get instantly. Which one of the turtles used nunchucks?
Michelangelo. What am I, some sort of heathen? I don't understand.
Nerd. All right. Anyways,
The first 6 episodes of Ninja Turtles really hold up really well. The rest of them are really bad, though.
Okay.
Just wondering if you're ever interested in watching Ninja Turtles again.
Well, before I forget, Soul Survivor, is there a limit on signups?
No.
Okay, so you can enter all 6 of your wrestlers if you want.
You can, and I hope you do.
Yeah, it's a fun thing to enter, and the winner gets what?
IWA credit
And
a shot at the World Heavyweight Championship.
there it is. It's a cool thing. And it's always a good write up too.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
And Alex's undying love.
That's right.
I think one year the write up for Soul Survivor was like 17 pages long.
It was all rest holds too.
I haven't asked Brian to write it yet, but I'm asking Brian to write it.
Nice. Excellent.
He's gonna be a busy man.
The bell rings, lights go out, they come up. There's a winner. Ding. So anyways, I wanted to get back to Lethal Lottery. So last summer, Scott had the idea for the Lethal Lottery tag team tournament, and people got to enter their wrestlers in, and it was 1 wrestler per player, and we put these teams together, and the randomly paired up teams had to go through it together, and then the winning team got a tag title shot at the IWAR Tag Team Champions. It's pretty cool. The winning team was Flash Jack Ferdinand and Alexander J. Styles, both of whom were 2 of the hottest single stars in the game. So very cool. We're doing the Lethal Lottery trifecta in a similar format, but there's going to be 8 teams. So if we get 30 people who enter, we'll pick 24 names, and we'll do it live like we did before, or however we end up doing it. But it'll be live, and we'll put announce the teams, and it'll be a trio. And then the way the scoring works is instead of like a flowed strategy, it's the combined single strategies of those 3 wrestlers in each team. So it's a little bit different, but it's a cool setup. But the winning team will get the challenge for the IWAR World Six-Man Champions, which, by the way, I think we mentioned last time, we made it official. The team of Saskatchewan Sasquatch, Chief Bull Gray Fox, who's not Chief Wahoo McDaniel, sorry about that, and Zombie Hunter Matthew Porter, who went on a crazy run in the BRL to be the 6-man team of the year there. Another spoiler. They were named. They also won the Triple D Cup 6-man tournament.
God
so
damn.
They were named. Yeah, so they were named the IWAR World 6-man Champions, which I think is appropriate. And so the winning team from the Lethal Lottery trifecta will go on to face them. That's pretty cool. So there's that. I have little notes here to myself. That one's talking about.
Turn in as many as we would you turn 2 or 3
Yeah.
guys, not just 1 this time.
Okay. Well, then what we'll do though is we'll just pull together as many 24 entries will become the teams. So 18.
Yeah.
Okay. So you can enter more. That's cool. But it was a lot of fun. The losing team of Monster Truck Tanaka and Dixon Ticonderoga, who should have won.
They should have won. Agreed.
But it's gonna be fun. So guys, if you're thinking of the spring events are gonna be coming up, I'm really gonna be hammering home the who's joining. The Lethal Lottery is going to be $1. Or are we doing it free? I forget.
I thought it was $1. That's what you told me last time.
Sure. Okay, $1 per entry. So
Yeah.
if essentially if you have a wrestler in there and you get picked, that's $1. But we'll worry about that when we get there, I guess. The Johnny B. Cup and the Murano Memorial, the rules are in the actual issue right now if you go back and see them in the IWAR magazine. But they'll be here before you know it, and a lot going on. So I hope you guys will take part, as they say around here. Let me see. Is there any questions in the thing here? Backstabbers building. Timber. Yes. Leaving. Oh, the World Traveler leaving. Oh my god.
The Backstabber. I know we're not doing TT, but the Backstabber introduced another wrestler this cycle called Backstabber Prophecy, and I don't understand. I don't understand.
Backstabber I haven't read the TT yet, so.
I don't understand though.
Well, you know what makes me happy? Magnum TL has original belts, so I'm
Yeah.
happy about that.
Yeah.
Good dude.
Could be worse. He could have had the Phantom Striker.
Aw.
I love you, Steven.
Go to the IWL.
No. He can if he wants to. He's not banned from the IWL. Not banned from anything. No, he has no heat with me. Since I buried him out behind a church once. Well, that's okay.
Throwing eggs at him.
Oh man. Let's see here. Anything we're oh, my computer's being bad. Anything we're forgetting? Let's see. Any stuff we're forgetting?
It sounds like the awards are gonna drop next cycle, the 2021 awards.
Yeah, actually, we'll talk about some of that after the show finishes. We'll talk. But yeah, we will hopefully do a award show.
Yes.
Yes, and we'll talk about the winners. We're still putting together all the write-ups, so that'll help. I think we're pretty well almost done, but I think it's going to be a fun show to do to kind of reflect on the last year and some of the big moments and stars and achievements. So let's see here. I'm probably going to have free time in May, June, and July when I have my knee operated on. So I'll be out of work for about 3 months, so I'll be able to get some stuff done. So I'm working on a little side project for the game, but we'll see if that gets together. Any questions for Johnny B while we're here? Besides his affinity for explosives.
I figured Johnny B for a pinball man, personally.
Oh, really? I would...
Dig Dug.
I'm going to say he's an ice hockey, like a ice hockey.
Like air hockey?
Air hockey, thank you. I'm tired.
I'm a big fan. You ever played there was a Playboy one. Actually, I thought it was the bee's knees back in the day.
Air hockey?
No, pinball.
Pinball.
This is a Playboy pinball machine.
You didn't play the Rocky one?
I don't think that was a real one. I never seen that one in arcades, and I've been to my share of arcades. I thought that I made that for the movie.
Nope. The Rocky pinball machine exists.
It's real.
It's real. We have, and you can look this up. In my tiny little town of Aliquippa, Pennsylvania, we have the National Pinball Museum, and you can go in there for $20. You can play for 4 hours, and they have every pinball machine ever made.
God damn.
Yeah, it's actually well worth the money. They have video games too, like a lot of the ones they had in mall arcades back in the day. The ones where like the car driving when you're inside the kind of like the thing that moves around a little bit, and they actually have the original Battlestar Galactica game, which is awesome. But yeah, the Rocky pinball machine is a real thing.
Nice.
I would if I was a wealthy man, I would probably own it. Unfortunately, I'm not. But you guys can help by making sure that you check out the Amazon link that's below. In addition to that, super chats are live, so I need money. I'm not going to lie to you. I need money.
I dig that.
I know you guys saw the I Dig That logo on the bottom of the screen, which I made during the last Tubecast.
I was just looking at that. It was cracking me up.
I want to know where you got my picture as a kid.
You were the actor for Small Wonders, which is
it was close.
That was the worst TV show on the planet. It did have an episode with Jesse Ventura in it, though. So
what's wrong with making a real doll when you were a kid? Come on.
He fucked that robot. He turned 16 and fucked that robot.
She's no Eminem, that's for sure. Oh man!
But I want did Johnny V visit the arcades? Was he, because that was the time when they were huge. I was on the Generation 2 arcade boom in the early 90s, but that early 80s arcade boom was crazy.
Okay, here's the questions.
Yeah.
Did you go? What was your game of choice?
Yeah.
And what game did you hate?
Yeah.
Like for instance, I hated Dragon's Lair.
Yeah, that was rough.
Dragon's Lair was so hard.
Space Ace, yeah, that was rough too.
But I was really good at oh my god, at Commando with a machine gun. You hit all the Uzi.
Yeah.
I was good at that. I was really good at Main Event, obviously.
Yeah.
The Main Event.
We did a whole show on that, so.
We did. Which reminds me, I was thinking about this as a side topic for future projects. Would you guys dig that, if we did shows where we talk, we'd sit down and we'd watch, like, for instance, I was flipping through the movies earlier, right? They were available on demand. And I think it was called The Ultimate Soldier. It was Hulk Hogan movie.
Yeah.
Was available. So if we watched one of these movies and then talked about it, would you guys care about that? It's a fun little side project.
I would dig that.
We would have to watch Porky's 3, though.
We could do whatever. If a movie has a wrestler in it, you know, I was thinking it'd be kind of cool. Like, there must be movies out there. I know there's a video game series called Yakuza, and they have various New Japan wrestlers in it.
That's true.
So we could talk about that. You know, there's things like wrestling, you know, related things, you know, in society. So.
What Sylvester Stallone movie did Terry Funk play in?
That was no. Well, yes, he was in Paradise Alley.
Over the Top?
No,
There you
Over the Top.
yeah. For the top, he's one of the bodyguards for the grandfather. And the only reason I know that is because that movie is actually on Amazon Prime right now, and I actually sat down and showed it to my 12-year-old nephew last week.
Did you know that Terry Funk was he choreographed the big fight scene in Rocky V, and the street fight. So that's why, like, all of a sudden Sylvester Stallone is throwing German suplexes like he's Chris Benoit randomly for no reason. In addition to that, Tommy Gunn's stunt double was Dirty Dick Slater.
Get out of there.
I can see that.
That's a true story.
Dick Slater had to be 55 years old when that movie was made.
Not in 1990, he wasn't.
You know who's not 55 years old? Tommy Gunn.
He's dead. He's dead.
Hey, Tommy, I didn't hear no bell.
Did you know that originally Kerry Von Erich was going to be casted as Ivan Drago for Rocky IV?
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah. Did you know that Terry Funk is the person that told Sylvester Stallone that he should cast Hulk Hogan as Thunderlips in Rocky III?
Wait a minute. Kerry Von Erich, Rocky IV was made in what, 87?
85.
Didn't he have 1 foot by then?
No, I think he lost his foot in 86.
86, right?
Yeah.
See, if he had done the movie, he'd still have a leg.
That's right. But
Kerry Von Erich was also in Problem Child Part 2.
Gary Barnett was?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was what's it? Kramer's
Jail.
Yeah, with Kramer.
Well, see, here's the thing. We could do movies or films or things with wrestlers in them. Be kind of a fun side project. Which brings me to a point. Johnny B, what was his like go-to movie as a kid? What was the first R-rated movie he saw?
Lolita, probably.
In the theaters. The first one for me was Terminator. I didn't even check my ID.
I saw RoboCop in the movie theater.
I was 12. I went to an R-rated movie.
I feel like that wasn't like
RoboCop was scary, man.
My dad took me, and because my dad did not give a shit. He's like, "Hope there's boobs in
Watched
here."
that one again recently. Yeah, it was a little more gruesome than I remembered.
Like my
the
dad.
most gruesome scene is the guy who walks around with the toxic waste on him. He's like, "Grr," and then he hits him with a car and explodes.
Eric Foreman's dad.
My dad was the type of person who would sneak beer into the movie theater. So.
Hey, why not?
Do you guys remember that RoboCop TV show?
Yes.
Really?
There's 2 of them.
With Small Wonder, right?
Roddy Piper was in an episode of that.
Roddy Piper was also in a Highlander TV show.
Ah.
Yes. RoboCop the TV series was filmed in Canada.
That must be why I know it.
Because there's RoboCop the series and there's RoboCop Prime Directives. I don't know why I know that.
Poutine.
I don't know why I know that, but it's ridiculous.
You're coming with me, creep. Sorry, never mind.
Well, we can watch every episode of Learning the Ropes. with Lal Alzado.
Oh, I forgot about that show.
Ric Flair's in it for no reason.
What was the one with Jesse Ventura and Piper?
Tag team,
Tag team. All right, there you go.
which is great,
I was wondering-
which is on YouTube, by the way. It's a TV pilot, but it's awesome. They did this one thing where there's the big climax of the movie, and like they're fighting two dudes like in a park, and Jesse's going down, like then Piper
The guy?
comes in and tags him for no reason, but they're in a street fight. And then they make the big comeback, and now they're officially police officers. And
Wow.
I wish that was picked up as a series though, because that would have been sweet.
Johnny B comes out of his bathroom. What is his entrance music?
Oh boy.
And you know you have one, Johnny, so don't give me any bullshit.
I will say this: has anyone thought about like if you had music at work, what would your music walk-in music be?
Mine would be Two Live Crew. Welcome to the fuck shop. So that's mine.
When we exchanged the car and you had it for the day, we were playing Bad Company's theme music.
That's true.
Everybody was looking at us. Symphony of Destruction.
Yep. Little Megadeth. Although now every time at work, every time Electric Avenue comes on, I'm like, I want to do the Dick Jackson dance. Which fun fact, as you guys know, Dick Jackson was an actual character from high school. He was kind of like Dusty Rhodes mashed with Wolfman Jack. And I used to scream "Woo Jack" at the top of my lungs, like the neighbors knew about it. Because that's the way we were when I was
Did they
a
think
kid.
you were special?
Oh, they
Like,
hated
oh,
me.
poor Matt. Someone called the short bus.
No, it was fun. I used to have wrestling matches with friends, but like they would sometimes become real like actual wrestling matches.
Yeah.
So you learn to like actually do moves and like holds and like tap or tap or whatever.
I used to shoot DDT people all the time. Because I didn't know there was a way to do it. I was just like, oh, I'm just gonna slam your head right into the grass and not.
I used to get thrown over tables at lunch and like as a stunt, and, like take the bump.
Yeah.
But if you do it, like you would time it so you would run, and like remember how like our cafeteria had those benches, like the tables that were like like fold down. There's a bench and then like the table, right?
Yeah.
So I would put my hand on the bench seat and then push off. So I'd roll my shoulder on the table and then come off and like land. And it was smooth. I'm probably like my shot knees and my bad back are probably like, yeah, dude, of course they are.
I was the master of the drop toe hold. Someone would get me from behind, I would drop toe hold them all the time.
What was Johnny B's go-to wrestling move? Because he must have had it like with
for
brothers.
Sure. For sure.
What was that? What was the move like? Make him tap with.
He seemed like a Boston Crab type of guy.
Well, it's probably a flying dropkick, right? Number 25.
I once put.
What is it? What is it now? What is it now? What does that hold?
When I was 16-year-old, I had this girlfriend, and I put her in the figure 4, and then she broke up with me.
Well, did she break up with you after, or were you like, you're gonna go out and you're gonna tap?
No,
Did you make a tap for her?
no, she reversed it and then broke up with me.
Oh.
Because what's funny is a lot of girlfriends growing up would be like they want to wrestle. Then when you actually put them in like a Kimura lock, they're like, oh,
Yeah.
this is assault.
I put him in the torture rack, and it was all over. It's like, what do you want from me?
25 is now fall away slam.
Okay, thank you. Fall away slam. It was a flying dropkick forever, you bastards.
They change it?
They did. Remember, like they changed the holds like 6 years ago or 4 years ago, and they were like, "We're revamping the holds finally." And I was like, "This is great." We can have, like,
I don't see any 450 presses on here, or they have diamond cutter on here now. Where is that? No.
They have the cutter, I think.
Oh, okay.
Cutter.
Any of you guys ever slam your girlfriend into the swimming pool? Like with a wrestling move?
Last week.
Well, it was meant to be a dropkick, but that she's fine. Actually, my I think I've mentioned before. I met my first girlfriend, serious girlfriend, through the IWA, and she was a huge wrestling fan. So
Where'd you meet her? Summer camp in Canada?
No, we were pen pals, IWA. We wrote to each other for like a year and a half. I was like 14 when we met, and then we were met at 16, dated for like whatever it was, a couple of years. And Scott remembers those days. What was it, Sonia, Scott? You had your girlfriend
For what? What was the?
in high school, or first, early loves, whatever, first loves.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, and I would write about Nancy, and Scott would write back about Sonia, and it was cool because she was, she got in like Pro Wrestling Illustrated writing a letter about Hulk Hogan.
Nice.
So I made fun of her because she loved Hulk Hogan and I hated Hogan. I was a Flair guy. Are there any other IWA love stories? That's a good question for Johnny. Good question for the crowd.
Leon once gave his girlfriend the claw hole. One breast or both?
Hey, I will say this, just out of curiosity, I pulled up Jesse Ventura's IMDb page. This guy, Jesse Ventura, had one heck of an acting career.
He did.
He was in Demolition Man.
He
was in The Running Man. Of course, he was in Predator. He was in a lot of movies.
He was in that John Ritter movie when he went to hell. That's a good one.
Wait, he was in Batman and Robin?
He was.
Yeah. He was a guard.
Wow.
And Mr. Freeze's security it was
Mr. Freeze.
somebody else. Who was the other one? It was like you saw the guy, you're like, oh, that guy's in all these movies. But
He was in Major League 2. Who was he in Major League 2?
Was he one of the other team batters?
Yeah.
He was like the slugger for the other team.
He's one of those guys.
Wow.
Yeah, he was with the Yankees.
Wasn't he in Zaxxas? What's the name of that movie? Zaxxas?
Yes, I watched it.
Yes.
That movie was awful. That's like the worst movie ever.
That was bad.
He was in the TV series Renegade. He was in the TV series Zorro. He was in the movie Ricochet. He was on the Hunter TV series.
That's a good show, by the way. Hunter is a fucking fine good show.
It was a very good show.
Repossessed was the movie where Leslie Nielsen. He was in that movie also.
I loved all those TV shows that were done in Vancouver.
You know what we should
They're all like
sometime? We should play a game.
they're like B television series.
We should play a game of Canadian or not. Because I'm finding out that there's a lot of people from Canada that I wasn't aware of. Like, I had no idea that Michael J. Fox was Canadian.
Oh, yeah.
Ryan Reynolds too.
William Shatner's Canadian?
No, that's a lie.
He
No.
is.
Yeah.
I think he's from Quebec.
He's too good looking to be from Canada, first of all.
Wait a minute. The Rock is from Canada? No, The Rock's not from Canada.
His dad is from Canada.
He played in the Canadian Football League for a bit.
Rocky Johnson is from Canada, though. I think he was trained by Stu Hart also. It goes back into our thing that Roddy Piper is really Canadian.
Hayden Christensen's from Canada?
That
Darth
explains a lot.
Elon Musk is from Canada?
No.
He looks like a weirdo.
According to Google, he was born in Actually, no, he's from South Africa. Why is it
No.
Canadian list?
Well, maybe he's from Canadian descent, perhaps? Is that even a real thing?
Place.
Yes, Fred Dreyer did play for the Rams, and that Hunter show was badass. I used to watch the shit out of that.
Yeah, it had the same. The Hunter TV series had the same music as the Spy Hunter Nintendo game.
Nice.
I
feel like he died at the end of that show, though. Did
he?
I think so. And then it was like this. It was like the chick for like a half a season. I think they killed him off. I could be wrong though.
Is there any indie wrestlers that are pretty much at this moment no name that you can see being ready for the next class, maybe the next decade of wrestlers. There's a kid here in Southern California, Jack Cartwheel.
You think he's gonna be big?
Oh yeah, yeah. I think he'll do just fine.
Wow, Alanis Morissette is fat now.
It's all that poutine.
You know what that means? More cushion for pushing. Nice.
We have a really good indie wrestling promotion here in Pittsburgh called International Wrestling Cartel. A lot of like Elias, the guy with the guitar from WWE, and I don't know what they call him now. He's on NXT. One of the guys that are in Phantasmo's group, not Raul Mendoza, the other one. He was in TNA for a while. They came out of here. There's a lot of them come out of here, and they've got some right now. They just got a new class that they graduated from their school, and there's a couple kids in there that are like 18 years old that I think are eventually going to be stars. So indie wrestling, there's still some good indie wrestling out there.
Yeah, man, for sure. For sure. Oh, all right. Anything else before we call it a day here?
Yes.
What's Johnny B's go-to snack when he's hungry?
Oh, all right, here we go. His snack, flavor ice cream and candy bar. I'm gonna guess he is a Doritos guy, and he likes Charles and Chew and Rocky Road.
Oh, okay.
He seems like more of a. That's not classy enough. He's more like a vanilla wafer type of guy.
It's a cookie. It's a fig Newton.
Has anyone eaten a fig Newton lately? Like in the last 10 years?
Yeah.
They still make those?
I didn't even know they still made them.
That's what I'm saying.
Different flavors. Strawberry ones are good.
We have them at Trader Joe's. It's called Get Figgy with It.
No, stop. Stop.
A strawberry Newton isn't a fig Newton. A fig Newton is a fig Newton because it has fig in it.
Well, it comes from the same company. I'm not going to fight them over what flavors they have. That's kind of like the dumbass stuff from Oreos, because now they've got like 27 flavors.
None of them are good.
Flavors now.
None of them are good. The only Oreos that are worth the damn are the regular Oreos, and if you're feeling a little frisky, the golden Oreos, and that's it.
Oh no, double stuff's the way to go, and that's it.
That's too much
the
cream.
lemon ones are pretty decent. So those.
See, now you're making no. You're going too far already. You're going too far. I saw this. I had the pumpkin one, the pumpkin spice one.
No!
It tastes like chemicals.
Yes, Joshua liked them, but I did not. The new ones coming out now are toffee flavored.
The peanut butter ones are all right, by the way. Peanut butter is okay. Those are fun. Do you guys got Girl Scout cookies every year or no?
Yeah, they were outside our store the other day.
I have a hard time walking up to any young girls and handing them money for their cookies. So I make my wife do it. So she gets I like Thin Mints.
Then you watched it in the car.
Yeah, it's like, hey little girl, here's $30. Let me get your cookies. I don't feel right about that. I feel a certain way about that. I feel it's the same reason why I don't go to Dunkin' Donuts ever. Because I know it's like I'll buy a dozen donuts and some girl I dated in high school, we were right there watching me with this dozen donuts looking like a pig. It'd be ridiculous. So it's like weird shit I don't do. All right, guys, I have to go to bed because I have work tomorrow at 7 a.m., which means I have to wake up at 6. So we're gonna cut this now. So thank you everyone for listening. I appreciate that. Yes, I do. In fact, dig that. So for Scott for For Matt, for Jeff, for Aaron, I'm Alex G.